But
all right, and finally, the season of Ramadan fasting is upon us, and it is expected that Muslim women engaging in the fasts will have more responsibilities added to their busy schedules. This has seen the demand for domestic help and cooks go up, with most working women having to manage household chores, including cooking, domestic help, and cooks expect higher wages as the Ramadan fast is an occasion when families' priority for elaborate dishes on the dinner table is pretty high. How can women successfully juggle the task without burning out and still faithfully participate in the fasts? Joining us to discuss this is Dr. Aisha Aminu Senchi, a humanitarian and development expert advisor to Kebbi State Health Financing USAID Integrated Health Program. So how do you juggle it during this, holy month of Ramadan? The responsibility of being a mother, you have to participate in the fast too, and at the end of the day, you wake up so early in the morning. If sorry, it's going to be by 5 a.m., that means before 5, you must
and still prepare the children for school.
Prepare children for school. I'm waking up to prepare the iftar in the morning.
As a working class woman, I can tell you that it has not been easy because during the month of Ramadan, our duties doubles up with already existing work family conflict. Now, in addition, is the line chain of activities during the month of Ramadan. Usually Ramadan comes with a series of line of activities, personal commitment, intense prayers aimed at moving close to Allah, because that is the whole aim of the Ramadan itself. It has a lot of conflicting and a lot of demand in terms of the timing, I try to relate them strongly with efficient time management and also realistic plans. From after iftar, the line of menus that is expected of me to prepare for breaking of fast, to also what is expected of me around 4 a.m. in the morning, which is suhoor, and also planning for routine work that I'm expected to be in the office to also attend to my deliverables. So I try I try to get help at all levels, support basically at all levels, support from my husband, support from the family members, and also support from the organization and my colleagues. From my husband's end, it entails a lot of understanding from his side that I have little time with a lot of activities. Remember, Ramadan being one of the strong, also the third pillar of Islam. As a Muslim, I also want to attain all those beneficial prayer moments and strive towards prayers. There is barely little time for one to sleep. So from his side, I try to make him understand and how he can support me in the areas of the children, dropping them sometimes in school, while I try to manage the house before I go to the office. And in the office, again, I try to ensure that all my deliverables are met. Where I need support of a colleague, I engage them to support me to meet up with those deliverables. And then at family level, again, Ramadan usually, aside from the normal menu, it comes with a series of, so many dishes have to be prepared. And some family also visit to cook plenty of food so that they can share out in form of charity. So I try to engage the support of family members to help in that regard, so that I will be able to meet up. Because where you also again is the issue of the cost, looking at the high rate of inflation, and also when you have to prepare so many menus. There is that understanding, like I mentioned earlier, that you really need to seek from your husband, from the family members, from the organization where you work. I know there used to be some of the government of Kebbi State and some other states. There used to be a circular before that they issue out during Ramadan for the reduction of an hour or two to enable workers attend to spiritual meetings and also other domestic issues. But it hasn't been fully implemented. Some states are not still keen into that, and also some organizations have not been implementing and that, because usually it's supposed to like be a circular from the federal government. But still,
All right, madam.
As a woman, yeah, I believe in making it possible, and I try to ensure that I manage my time efficiently to meet up with the demands.
Okay, what are the best benefits of Ramadan?
Okay, like I mentioned earlier, Ramadan is one of the pillars of as a Muslim, is the thought after believing in Allah and the belief in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The second is Salat. Then the third pillar, as every Muslim, is a Ramadan, fasting in the month of Ramadan. It is in that month of Ramadan that the Holy Book, the Quran, was revealed, and it is in the Ramadan that we experience the night of power, where it is also known as the night of decree. In that night, all affairs of the creation are decreed, and it will manifest like in the coming year. So as Muslim, the purpose of Ramadan is to attain taqwa. Taqwa is the consciousness of Allah. And also because in Quran chapter 2 verses 183, Allah says, "O you who have believed, decreed upon you is fasting, as it was decreed upon those before you, that you may attain consciousness of Allah." So Ramadan is a protective shield against hellfire. And in the month of Ramadan, all gates of heaven are opened, with all the gates of hell being closed. So it is expected that while you fast, you pray to Allah, you give charity, that you move close to Allah, and all your sins are wiped out, and you pray to Allah for things, the blessings and every other thing. And it is a pillar that among those 5 pillars of Islam, if you leave one, is like you're saying, I'm not a Muslim. So for every Muslim, Ramadan is fasting in the month of Ramadan is one of the pillars of Islam. So it is obligatory for all Muslims, being a man or a woman. Basically, that is what I can say about some of the benefits of Ramadan.
Okay. Madam, what we usually see, madam, is a situation in which people fast for that whole month, they then go back to sin. Why is this happening? Will the person who has gone back to sin get the reward for the fasting that he had during the holy month?
I can say for the fasting, if it is done, like the Imam have always taught us that whatever you do, God will look at your intention first, and the reward is based on that intention. Remember, even the Ramadan itself, from the one, you have to make that intention of performing it. And so that you have good intention, it is one of the pillars as a Muslim, and you you observe it for the whole month, you will be rewarded for that. But what you do after that, again, if you sin, definitely God will also, it will be written in your books that you have sinned. So it is also a month that people seek for forgiveness for all the things that they knew they do, which is wrong. But of course, on one hand is that sin which you do between you and Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, which He can forgive you because He is Al-Ghafurur Rahim. But whatever you do, like you cheat a colleague, you cheat your wife, you cheat a child, that is between you and that person, and it is only that person that can forgive you before Allah can forgive you. So people fasting, Ramadan should be like a learning, a sort of a learning means, so that if we can continue from the practice of Ramadan, then I can tell you that so many of these things will not be there. But it's unfortunate that after Ramadan, that people still go back to doing the normal things that are sinful to Allah. So you will get your reward for fasting if you do it in compliance with how Allah Subhanahu wa Taala decreed. And again, immediately after fasting, if you go back to your sinning, then definitely you will be punished for that, because you may not know whether you will still be alive to witness the next coming Ramadan. So there are two different things. It's not a guarantee that I observe all this, the holy month with sacrifice, with memorization of the Quran, with a lot of prayers, and immediately after Ramadan, I delve into all sorts of sinful acts because I feel maybe next Ramadan I will still.
Is it permitted?
No, it's not permitted at whether Ramadan or not Ramadan. Anyway, you said drink. I don't know which drink. Which drink? Are you referring to alcohol?
Alcohol.
Yeah. No, alcohol is generally forbidden for a Muslim. So whether in the Ramadan or not Ramadan, it is not expected for a Muslim to drink. Because whatever, Ramadan itself, is obligatory for somebody that is able, sane, adult. And we know that sometimes when you take alcohol at some point, to some people, I don't say generally, to some people, it's like move them out of their normal sense, because we've seen situations where somebody will drink and will be walking like, staggering, saying all sorts of things. I don't know whether it's from the type of the drink. Yes. So in that state, you cannot even fast. So it is not permissible for a Muslim to drink, whether in Ramadan or after he breaks his fast or after Ramadan.
Okay, Anja, do you think the Ramadan has any significant impact on pregnant women and nursing mothers?
Yes, it has, because like the nursing mother, now globally we advocate for exclusive breastfeeding, and then it is expected that the child within 0 to 6 months should only feed on breast milk, not even water. So the water is expected to come from the breast milk that she is giving. So the mother, nursing mother, will expect to take a lot of water, to eat healthy foods, to be able to meet up with the demand of the child, because he will be suckling 1, 2, or 2 from her. So Islam permits that when you are pregnant and you feel that fasting, you cannot go through the rigor of staying from morning till evening before you eat. You cannot fast. It is allowed. It is allowed that whatever will subject you into too much stress that might even affect your health. So a pregnant mother is, I'm not saying not a healthy woman, but she has some other compromising issues that she needs to take care of, especially the baby in her womb. So it is permissible for her Islamically not to fast until after fasting, or even after fasting, if she is breastfeeding, she still cannot fast until when she stops breastfeeding. And then our imams usually tell us what to do. So after fasting, she still feel that, okay, now I'm okay, I can fast. Because though Islam is not saying that because you did not fast Ramadan, you are forgiven. Definitely she would have to fast. She will have to repay the number of days that she was not able to fast. Yes. So it can be immediately after the fasting, after a year, where she cannot. There are provision of feeding the poor, like giving charity to the poor in lieu of the fasting.
All right, madam.
So a sick woman, a pregnant woman, and a traveler, it is permissible in Islam. You are traveling for a long, for like some hours, you can withhold fasting until after fasting, then you will pay.
Okay. I want to thank you for your contribution, Aisha Aminu, the Special Advisor on Health Financing to the Government of Kebbi State. Thank you so much for your contribution. And I think July is the day 11, the fasting period, and 19 more days to go. Yeah. Some of us, we have friends that are actually Muslim. Julie, you asked one question. It's not allowed in Islam to drink alcohol, and in Christianity too, it's not advisable to drink. So who are those consuming?
we are both infringing on the law.
Honestly, who are those consuming?
Both Christians and Muslims.
Nigerian is declared support.
Every year.
Declares to support.
Every year.
So it's not allowed. So who are those?
Who are the people responsible for those profits?
Big question. Big poser to our viewers.
I like the Muslim holy month.
Yes.
Of Ramadan because it brings out the humanity in us. This is the season when a lot of sharing takes place. You know, you care for the needy. Allah wants us to care for the needy, and this is the season when people in need, you need to give them. You know, it's one of the things where I like, and where I like the fasting season. And remember when we were in school, we would join them in eating their eating sari. We would join them
for iftar.
Yes, we join them in eating, and it's still like that. You know, if I was in Abuja, for example, some of my friends, we join
break
them,
with them, we break fast with them.
You know, we pray with them and all that. So, it's I just hope that we as Nigerians, we can imbibe the teachings of the Holy Prophet of Islam, as well as Jesus Christ. If we can just emulate their conduct a little bit.
They just go to church.
If we can just emulate the conduct of the Holy Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, peace be unto him, and Jesus Christ, honestly, these problems that we have in our world, they won't be there. But we just read and read, but we don't do those things that we are enjoined to do.
You go to crusades, you go to churches.
The Ramadan has also shown that Christianity and Islam, they are both, you know, ideas of God, one God, you know. Because Christians have just finished their own, when they have their Lent, it's for 40 days.
This is Palm Sunday.
Yeah.
When Jesus Christ entered Jerusalem.
Yeah.
In a triumphant way.
It's a reflection of how Angel Gabriel spoke to Prophet Muhammad. Peace be unto him. So we are one religion. There is just no need for us to fight each other from the same
part of the world.
We are one.
From the Middle East.
Yeah.
All right.